when we talk about self-confidence, no, it's something that is a constant struggle. I don't think I have overcome everything. I have to constantly remind myself to love myself. There are days when I feel like I'm completely useless. I haven't done anything in my life. So
Hello and welcome to The Girl from Agartala. I have a very cute and brilliant guest with me, Hamari Jamatia. She is very experienced in journalism field and she had worked earlier for national newspaper. She had been a reporter at the Indian Express, senior reporter for the Hindustan Times, assistant editor with Pioneer. Yeah, and now she is the editor of national award winning Adivasi Lives Matter. Doesn't she look cute when she smiles with dimples? And don't we look like cousins right now?
we look very similar on screen.
Dee, how did you find the love for reading and journalism?
Oh yeah. I was not a very sporty kid. I had very few interests and I was also a huge introvert. I was very scared of talking to people. I could not mingle with people. And one day when I think I was in class 3 or 4, I just picked up a book and started reading. And then I also had a neighbor who got me some comic books. And my father used to collect a lot of books. So I was surrounded at that time with a lot of books and I just started reading because there was no phone. So as kids we didn't have much to do. I started reading and I fell in love with books. So everything that I am not in my real life, which is that I am not an extrovert, I cannot talk to people, I don't go out much. I could do all that through other people's lives in books. I started reading a lot of books. It started with abridged forms of novels and then I went on to read the original novels and I became a huge fan. Access to books was very limited. So whatever was there at home or whatever I could find in other people's home, I would pick it up and read. In the initial years, there was a lot of Tinkle Digest, a lot of Panchatantra, a lot of Amar Chitra Katha. And then from there, as I grew slightly older, I moved on to classics like Oliver Twist and Jane Austen.
How did you get into journalism?
Yes. So since I only had one passion, which was reading, I decided that I need to choose a career where it requires a lot of reading. And also I was very interested in reporting from the very first, even though my personality was not like that. So I decided to start studying for journalism because one thing I really knew about myself that I won't be very comfortable in a 9 to 5 job. So I wanted a job where I would also be doing something good, but also which would not be very convenient in that way. I wanted to push myself, push my boundaries, and do things that are not something that most people around me were doing.
How was your experience working for Hindustan Times and Indian Express?
They're both very amazing workplaces, very different workplaces, but both equally amazing. But I think more than the fact about what the workplace was, I think the best part was the journey towards self-discovery itself. Joining journalism, it's a very tough field. You have to be constantly on the move, and you are always competing with everyone around you. What it helped me was in overcoming some of my, what I would say, difficulties in personality traits. So for example, I was an extremely shy, extremely introverted person, but journalism just pushed me into the field and I had to start talking to people because there's no other way for you to function on the field. That is one thing I am really thankful to journalism for, that now I can really talk to people, which I could not do before that. So in whether it's HT or whether it's Indian Express, I was always surrounded with this amazing colleagues and talking to them, interacting with them, learning from them. It really helped me grow my personality and be who I am now.
any struggle during journalism? Like, did your friends or family ask you to change your job, or did you get underestimated because you were women?
As a woman, I guess the challenge is in practical terms, not in terms of my own workspace. Both my parents are extremely accomplished people, and so they never discouraged me from doing anything. They always wanted me to follow my heart. In fact, even pursuing journalism, which was a very expensive course, which my parents could not have been able to afford, but they managed somehow to get me that education so that I can follow my dreams. So they have been extremely supportive of that decision. What was the second question? Inequality or yeah, issues with being a woman in the workplace? No, not personally, but I have seen that workplaces suddenly become very hostile to women who are newly married or who are on their way to have a kid, because there is this assumption that women will stop working once they get married or when they have children, which is a very sexist mentality. And I firmly believe, in fact, that men in higher position who say that, oh, now you're getting married or you have a baby so you will stop working, are the same kind of men who never help at home, which is why they see women doing all the work. If they were doing 50% of the work, I'm sure they would have known that a woman who gets 50% of her free time to do her job will do a stupendous job of that.
Yeah.
So that is one thing I have noticed in workspaces but because I was young, I was single, so I never had that kind of issue because they knew that I could work for as long as they asked me to.
So, talking about your marriage, how did you find the one? I mean, how did you instantly know that he's the one for you?
Okay, so now a girl from Agartala has become Coffee with Karan. Okay, great. I was, I, one of the things that has not been described yet is also that I'm pursuing my PhD from University of Hyderabad. When I went to Hyderabad University, I met my husband, who was not my husband back then. His name is Sai Kiran. I met him in a night canteen. There's a canteen outside the girls' hostel, and that's the only canteen available at night. So everyone gathers there, and that's where I met him for the first time. He works in a lab. He has completed his PhD and he works on photosynthesis. So I still remember the first conversation we had about photosynthesis and his work around that. What we had in common was love for food. So before the love for each other began, we were definitely madly in love with food. So every night after we were finished studying, we'll go to the nearest place, which is called DLF, and you'll get all kinds of food there, from momos to dosha to bonda to chow mein. You'll get everything. So for weeks and weeks and months, we bonded just over food, and then we realized that that food is not the only thing common anymore, and that's how we moved ahead. I
Oh,
guess.
wow. So, I'm also a big foodie. So, we can sometimes, eat outside together.
Oh yeah, I mean, after this interview, let's go out. I don't mind.
So, Deep, why don't you give some tips to our, viewers? Like, some of them ask me, how can we become self-confident, and how can we learn and speak well in English? So, what would you say? to
About
that?
English, about speaking English and all. I think our access to media has really helped us in honing our skills. So even though your parents may say don't watch TV, don't watch too much phone, it's okay. You can take some time off and watch movies. Don't watch anything that you don't like or is detrimental to your health. But I think my English came mostly from reading, because I was constantly reading for hours at end. I could read. But it's only after I went to Delhi that I realized that a lot of words, because I had learned by reading, I didn't know how to pronounce them. So the more I started talking in English, the more I started interacting with people who spoke good English, I started listening very carefully about how words are enunciated, how are they pronounced. So I still remember this because in Tripura our accent is very Bengalicized. When I went to Delhi and I was talking about one of the writers who I was a big fan of in that time, not anymore, was Sidney Sheldon. And I was describing him to one girl from Haryana in Delhi University, and I'm like, "Oh, Sidney Sheldon is so good, no?" And she's like, "Ew, it's not Sidney Sheldon, it's Sidney Sheldon." And so that triggered something in me, and I'm like, yeah, I have not been giving proper attention to how I pronounce words, about my diction. So that's something I started focusing on, and even now when I watch English movies, I listen very carefully to the accent and how they enunciate. Where is the force of their enunciation when they say a particular word? Like for instance, the word idiot. So the emphasis is on the word e. So idiot is the one where we are putting the emphasis. So I notice things like this, and I like watching movies in different accents. So yeah, I guess if you keep watching and if you keep reading, you will learn how to speak better.
Similar for me. I was like continuously I was saying contents, but it's actually content. So it took me a lot of time to correct that. And what will you tell about building up our self-confidence, not being afraid of overcoming, facing our fear? How do
See, this is self-confidence. Okay, you make mistakes and you learn from it. Yeah, there's one fear which I don't want to ever fight, because it's a phobia, not even a regular fear, which is the fear of heights. And it's something that I'm not going to even fight it, because what's the point? It's not like I'm going to climb Mount Everest or climb a tree. Yeah, but there are other fears which I try to fight. The fear of what people are going to say. It's always something that is there. I guess it's there in a lot of people, where from the way you look, to the length of your hair, to the color of your skin, you're worried about what people are going to say. So I just want to say that when we talk about self-confidence, no, it's something that is a constant struggle. I don't think I have overcome everything. I have to constantly remind myself to love myself. There are days when I feel like I'm completely useless. I haven't done anything in my life. So I have to constantly tell myself that it's just because we are in a society where we are constantly trying to conform to a particular standard. So everything around you is like, oh, but you have to be this weight in order to feel beautiful. You have to have this much money in order to feel that you have accomplished. So there's a lot of pressure on us to conform to what society thinks is good for you. So you have to constantly remind yourself that no, I mean, everyone is different. Everyone has a different clock. So somebody may be able to build a house at 25, somebody will build a house at 60, and it's fine. Everyone is struggling, everyone has its own journey. So I would just request, if somebody is watching, that be kind to yourself, because no one else is going to love yourself the way you can. So just be kind. It's okay if you still haven't got a job, if you haven't got a boyfriend, if you haven't gotten married, it's fine.
How do you keep yourself positive?
I'm just surrounded by a lot of good people, I feel. Like even in ALM, I feel like everyone is so positive and everyone is so uplifting that it's very difficult to not feel positive. So yeah, I think I am just very lucky to have a very supportive family and a very supportive work environment, which helps me in being positive.
Yeah, what would you like to tell to today's generation?
About what?
Any message?
Any message, especially for people of Tripura, I would say that please read some books. It's becoming very difficult to find people who find joy in books, and that's because they have never tried it. I mean, I'm sure if you start reading books, you will find a whole new universe where you can discover yourself, where you can visit places, where you can fall in love with characters, where you can develop and grow. So, yeah, if you are a young Triprasa, I would really urge you to start reading books. It doesn't matter what genre, it doesn't matter what language, just read because it helps us discover ourselves.
What are your hobbies? Except reading.
I was going to say that except for that, yeah. Hobbies is I like to go on long walks. I used to live in the Hyderabad campus, which is a 2000 acres campus. So sometimes I just like to walk and not talk to anyone and just be alone with my thoughts. Otherwise, usually I'm not alone with my thoughts because I'm doing work or I'm watching TV or I'm watching Netflix. So this is the time when I try to give to myself and talk to myself a lot. Oh, I forgot eating and cooking. I mean, how can I forget that? I love to cook, even though I'm not the best cook, but I think I make decent food. Yeah, so I love to cook, and more than cooking, I love eating.
What's your favorite dish?
Anything. I have no preference. I mean, I can eat everything, and I love it when people really cook nicely, and it's just amazing. I'm so glad to be alive in a time where food is so easily available. You can just call up and get food.
Yeah, nowadays Swiggy, Zomato is all over,
Yeah.
happening.
Oh, but
in
we
Tripura.
haven't been paid. Okay, this is not a promotion.
This is not a promotion.
This is promotion for food, not for the delivery person.
So the who have been your inspiration like throughout your life?
My parents, hands down. My father and more than him, like a little bit more than him, my mother, because I've seen my mother struggle a lot in her life and never give up and never even show it. Like, I think that is where the strength of a woman lies, able to multitask so much and then still retain that love and that place of comfort. Our mothers go through so much, they don't complain about it, and they always try to make space for you as their children so that you get the benefit of whatever hard work they have done. So I think that's something very incredible that I have learned from my mother. Also, one thing I've learned from her is discipline. She is very disciplined, and I've tried to follow that in my life. So I make routines. I'm a person who plans ahead, which I think I've learned from her. Yeah, you can make an entire video on her. She is like fabulous.
I should have come here on Mother's Day.
Oh yeah. Anyway, not too late. Next year we can do it.
Yeah, for sure.
When is Mother's Day? No clue. I have absolutely no clue.
Last
Because
month.
my mother also doesn't
Oh,
give.
no. Yes, last month.
Oh, it was last month. Okay. Sorry, mom. I hardly remember things like that.
I'm also bad on remembering dates.
Yeah, but our mothers are like, "Ki kya hai? What is this?" Like, Mother's Day le tamaba. फालतू दो. ऐसा ही है उनका response भी ना. They're not very keen on celebrating Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we
Every
may be
day.
bad children, but mothers don't care.
For us, like every day is a Mother's Day. That's why we don't even remember like when is Mother's Day.
That I take back my words. That's the real point.
This is our end of the program, and before ending this, today is Holi, and we shall end this with
Colors.
Colors. Yay! Smell तो अच्छा कर रहा है. Want some?
Yeah.
Happy Holi.
Happy Holi. Okay, now I'm going to ruin your makeup. Yay!
Yay! Happy Holi. Bye.